Hello Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Taurus, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. We're going to see how the both of you are currently viewing this relationship and how you guys feel about it and what actions you guys plan on taking each other's direction and are moving forward. So with all that being said, Taurus, let's get started. How does Taurus currently view this relationship? What do we got? All right. We have the Three of Pentacles, we got the Hangman, and then we also have the Emperor. Could be dealing with a Capricorn, possibly a Pisces, maybe even an Aries. Doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but it kind of looks like somebody new has captured your complete and undivided attention. Whoever this person is, especially with the Three of Pentacles coming out here, that's kind of telling me that this is like the very beginning stages of a relationship. So with that being said, it kind of looks like you're currently, talking to them / getting to know them. And it kind of looks like so far, you are kind of looking at this person, who does essentially possess a lot that you're essentially looking for, within a person. Okay. So yeah, things are, unfolding for the most part pretty nicely here between you and this person. I feel like you're trying your hardest to not get too carried away, with yourself. Like, even though you are physically attracted to this person does fit a lot that you're essentially looking for within a person. I don't see you getting carried away, like telling yourself like, oh my God, like this is going to be the person that I'm going to marry by the end of the month. No, like, I just see you really interested in them. I just kind of feel like this person was able to capture your complete undivided attention. It kind of looks like the only person that you want to talk to / get to know and or date is basically them. Okay. How does this person currently view this relationship with Taurus? Okay. Huh. Okay. Interesting. We have the Strength card. Okay. We have the Eight of Cups. And then we also have the Five of Swords. So I need to verify something real quick, because I want to make sure that this person's single. Yeah, I need to make sure that this person that you're dealing with is actually single. Because there's a possibility, dude, that they may not be. We'll see. We'll see. They could be, but we'll see. The only reason why I'm like, I don't know about this one here, because, by the way, let's just focus on the positive real quick, and then we'll start getting into the negative. You're showing up as an Emperor regardless of your gender. The person that's in the Strength card is the Empress, making it a true pair situation between you and this person. So you guys are very compatible. You're definitely dealing with somebody of your caliber, vice versa. They're dealing with somebody of their caliber. The Emperor to the Empress are two people who work very well together. As a team, they have the same goal. So if, your biggest thing is you want, somebody that you could build with and establish a life with, possibly get married to one day, start a family, well, those are the same things that this individual wants as well. So you guys are very compatible nonetheless, and you guys both know what it is that you guys want and what it is that you guys are looking for. Is this freaking person single, though? Because it looks like this person, is... It just kind of looks like this person either recently checked out of a situation that they were, involved in, mentally, emotionally, as well as physically. So there's a possibility that they could have left the relationship or the marriage, but there's a possibility that they could still be in it, because this to me can definitely represent somebody who's checking out, emotionally from a relationship, and they're starting the process of checking out mentally, from this relationship. And then we know the next step would be them checking out physically from the relationship. So that's my concern when it comes onto this Empress that you're connecting with, is that they could, technically speaking, still be married or in a relationship with someone that they are definitely losing love as well as respect for. And like I said, I do believe that they're starting the whole process of checking out mentally, and then they'll leave physically. But let's see. Tell me more about the Eight of Cups. They're definitely not happy with this person. Man, it's hard to like pinpoint, if they're still with this individual or not. Honestly, if I were you, I would definitely, do my digging, do my research when it comes down to this Empress that you find yourself connecting with. Just verify that this person's actually single. You know what I mean? Because there's a possibility that, yeah, this person might be single. They might be, but there's a huge possibility this person may not be single. They might still be married to this person, in a relationship with this person. They are still married to this person, a relationship with this person. Is pretty evident to me that this person is clearly not happy with this individual that they're with. It kind of looks like there has been a lot of fighting, a lot of arguing, a whole lot of not seeing eye to eye. More of the story is that this Empress just simply not happy, with this person. And even though they may have every intention of leaving this person at some point, they have yet to leave this person is basically what I'm getting. But there's, again, I just want to make this clear. There is a possibility, because I'm getting two different storylines here, that they could have already left the marriage and a relationship and they are basically single. There's a possibility, it's a possibility, but I don't know, dude. If I were you, I would do my digging and research just to verify that this person is no longer with this person. That they were either married to or in a relationship with. But they do feel very drawn to you. You know what I mean? They do feel very drawn to you in this connection. I think that you need to just double check and make sure that this person's actually single. That's it. That's my only thing, dude. Just double check on that. How does Taurus currently feel? Yeah, it kind of looks like you're starting to develop some feelings here for this Empress that you find yourself connecting with. Let's look at the Nine of Swords. Tell me more about the Nine of Swords. We have the Ace of Swords, we got the Fool, and then we also have the Devil. Yeah. You're starting to develop some feelings here for this person. You're starting to feel really connected to this person. I feel like, there is a part of you that's afraid, that this entire situation might blow up in your face or not work out in your favor. But at the end of the day, deep down inside, there's only one real way to find out. And it does kind of require you to see this entire situation through. The only thing that I am telling you is, before you continue to develop even more feelings for this person, I think you need to just verify that this person's actually single. Okay? Just verify. Because it's like a 50-50, man. Like, there's a part of me that feels like, this person could still be married in a relationship. But then there's that other part of me that's like, okay, maybe they did leave the relationship, because I'm getting two different storylines. Like, for some of them, they have left the relationship. For others of them, they're still in it. So, like, my concern with you is that here you are developing, emotions for a woman that could be married, or a woman that could be in a relationship, or a man that could be married, or a man that could be in a relationship. You catch my drift? So I just need you to really double check on that. Just verify. Do your digging, dude, and do your freaking research. I wouldn't even go as far as to, like, take their own word for it. Like, granted, you could ask them, but then there's a possibility that this person could turn around and lie to you because they don't know how you're going to respond and react. They're not going to know if you're okay with dating a married man or a married woman, or a woman that's in a relationship, or a man that's in a they don't know. They don't know. This relationship is just starting. Like, they don't know you like the back of their hand to sit there and say, well, if I do tell Taurus the truth, they're going to still stick around. They don't know that. So that's what I'm saying. There's a possibility that even if you were to ask them directly, like, yo, like, by the way, are you married, or are you, like, single, whatever have you, like, they could tell you the truth. There's a possibility. If this person's married in a relationship, they could just tell you straight up, like, yes, I'm married. Yes, I'm in a relationship. And me and this person, we're not getting along. We sleep in 2 different rooms, whatever. You know what I mean? Or there's a possibility that this person might just turn around and just outright lie to your face and tell you no. Like, no, like, I'm not married. I'm not in a relationship. But even though technically speaking, they are, because they don't know how you're going to respond and react. But then there's also a possibility that this person might tell you, no, I'm not married. No, I'm not in a relationship. And they could be 100% honest with you. I still think you should do your own digging and research. That's my only thing. Because I'm worried that I'm just worried that this person might be married in a relationship and they're not fucking telling you anything, and here you are developing all these feelings for this person, and they're married, or, like, in a relationship, like, let's keep going. How does this person feel? They truly feel connected to you. That's one thing that I will say. I mean, you guys are showing up as a king and the queen of wands, so the emperor to the empress. So, the passion's there, the chemistry's there, the physical attraction's there, the both of you, both want the exact same things, you know what I mean? Like, this person truly does feel a very strong and intense connection with you. Tell me more about the Five of Swords. My God. I think that you need to double check on the whole, are they really married, or are they really single, or are they really in a relationship or not? I think you need to double check on that, because there's a possibility they might still be married to this person, or a relationship with this person, especially with the Eight of Swords coming out here. This individual might feel bound to this person. What do I mean by that? This person might have a family with them. They might rely on them financially speaking, with the Queen of Pentacles coming out here. I mean, there's something that's keeping these two together. You know what I mean? Or could still be keeping these two together, because there's a possibility that they could have broke free from the relationship. I'm not knocking it. There's a possibility, yes. But it's like, it keeps kind of insinuating to me that they could be married to someone or in a relationship with someone. And I don't know if you even know about it or not. That's another thing too. It's like, so I don't know. But like, there's I'm honestly like a good 95% certain this person's married in a relationship with someone. Now there's that other portion of me that's like, maybe they already walked away. It's a possibility. But I'm just almost 95% sure this person's like married, or they're either married or in a relationship with somebody. And there's something that's keeping them bound to that person. So like, a home, children, maybe these two share finances, maybe they rely on this person to a degree financially speaking. Like, maybe the reason why they're still with them is because they're trying to get their financial situation in order before they leave. It's like a variety of different things that could be going on that's keeping this person bound to this entire situation that they clearly don't want to continue to be in. Because it's not to say that this person's happy with this individual or they want to continue to remain with this individual, because they don't. But it just kind of looks like they feel stuck, like they have no choice but to deal with this person for now. What actions will Taurus take towards this person or moving forward? Okay, so we do have the Chariot, we do have the Nine of Cups, and then we also have the, you do kind of come off to me as somebody who is like a little bit of an overthinker. I wouldn't say you're a chronic overthinker or anything like that, but you are a little bit of an overthinker. Sometimes you stop to overthink things, in other words. And that's okay. I think that we all kind of do that to a certain extent, but I do see you extremely over the moon happy because of this person, your relationship with them. And I do see you at times stopping yourself to kind of overthink things along the way, but I feel like you do a pretty good job at keeping yourself grounded. I think you should really look into this person a little bit more, just to verify if this person's single or not, or married or not. That's the only thing. I mean, outside of that, I like the person for you. I do. You guys are compatible. You're dealing with somebody of your caliber. I mean, I do like this person for you. I just don't like the fact that it keeps hinting that this person's married or in a relationship with somebody. Anyways. Four of Pentacles, Six of Swords, and then we also have the World out here. So in regards to how this person plans on moving forward, in order to start this whole new chapter / cycle with you, they got to let something go in the process of it all. And they know that, okay? I'm sorry. The cards keep hinting that this person's married in a relationship. I'm so sorry. It keeps hinting that this person's either married in a relationship. I'm sorry. I'm almost like 75% sure this person's married in a relationship. And I didn't even get a freaking court card for this individual that, like, give me a court card for this person that this Empress is dealing with. Oh. Well, yeah, that's not gonna, well, I mean, that makes sense why they're not happy with this individual. How do I explain this individual without sounding disrespectful here? Because I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Sometimes I'm just very blunt, you know what I mean? Straightforward. And I feel like sometimes it kind of comes off like harsh when I'm not trying to be. But I get why the relationship between these two is not simply working out. We got feminine on feminine energy. So let's just say, for example, this Empress is dealing with a dude, for example. Well, that dude leans far more towards their feminine side. And so does this Empress, right? That you're dealing with. They lean towards their feminine side. So when we see feminine on feminine, there's bound to be tension, conflict, and chaos. But when we see masculine on masculine energy, and I'm not talking about the gender here, okay? I'm talking about the energy, right? Then there's that nice balance there, right? But when we see masculine on masculine energy, tension, conflict, bumping heads. Same thing when it comes down to feminine on feminine energy. There's tension, conflict, bumping heads, because somebody has to play the role of the masculine energy, and then the other person has to play the role of the feminine energy. And of course, y'all could take turns, if you want to, but when we give masculine on masculine energy, there's bound to be fights, arguments, and disagreements. And when we see feminine on feminine energy, there's bound to be fights, arguments, and disagreements. It is what it is. But I mean, I can see why these two haven't necessarily been, getting along. I mean, I get that. They're both showing up as two feminine energies, and this could be a relationship between a man and a woman and a woman, or a man and a man. It doesn't matter. When we have two people in a marriage or in a relationship harnessing the same energy, they both harness feminine energy or masculine energy, there's bound to be tension, conflict, and chaos. The thing with like feminine energies is, feminine energies, they're just known for like sitting back, waiting to essentially receive and be taken care of, right? So when we see these two sitting in an energy of sitting back, waiting to receive, waiting to essentially be taken care of, this is why these two tend to experience tension and conflict with one another, right? Because they're not getting what they need out of the other individual, right? Or one another, right? But when we see masculine on masculine energies are all about taking action. They want to be the leaders. They want to call the shots and things like that. So when we see masculine on masculine energy, there's bound to be tension and conflict, because we have two people in a marriage or in a relationship that want to be like the top dog, head honcho, you know what I mean, and call the shots. And there's a lot of ego that tends to kind of play out in those type of dynamics and stuff like that, causing the tension, the conflict, things like that. So this is kind of why, again, and it doesn't matter if it's a relationship between two men, two women, a man and a woman, there has to be that balance there between masculine and feminine, because if there's two masculine energies showing up within a marriage and a relationship together, it's going to be a bunch of tension and conflict. Same applies for like those dynamics where there's, feminine on feminine energy, it's energy. It's not gender. Gender doesn't freaking matter. It's just the energy. You know what I mean? So it kind of looks like with these two people over here, it's like this Empress feels like they can't really rely on this Queen of Swords that they've essentially been dealing with, for quite some, time now. They feel like they can't really rely on them. They can't really depend on them, things of that nature, vice versa. You know what I mean? So then there's that, you know what I mean? I feel like these two have been, experiencing a state of lack, I would say, within their relationship with one another, because they're not getting what they need out of one another. They're not. It's like these two both want to be taken care of. It's like the best way that I could describe what I'm seeing here. This Empress wants to be taken care of, but this person that they're with also wants to be taken care of. You know what I mean? This Empress wants flowers. Well, so does this one over here. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Feminine energy doesn't work. Masculine energy, it just doesn't, work. There has to be that balance between masculine and feminine energy, because when there's not that balance, there's bound to be tension and conflict, and it does not matter the gender. And I'm not talking about the gender, because like I said, this could be between two men or two women, or a man and a woman. As long as there's that somebody's carrying that masculine energy and the other person's carrying that feminine energy, it's going to work. There's going to be that balance there. There's going to be that harmony there, regardless if it's, between, two men, two women, a man and a woman. You know what I mean? There's always going to be that balance there. But when there's two people in a marriage or in a relationship harnessing that same old energy, they're both harnessing masculine energy, they're both harnessing feminine energy, it's just not going to work, because they're going to find themselves essentially feeling they're not getting what they need out of that relationship. They're going to find themselves, experiencing that state of lack, or their trigger, or their ego is going to essentially get triggered. But that only happens with like masculine on masculine energy. But yeah, it just kind of looks like this person's not getting what they need out of the individual they currently find themselves connecting with. They feel like they can't rely on them. They feel like they can't depend on them. They feel like this person just wants to be babied and taken care of, and they're kind of sick of it. I mean, they're sick of it. They want someone that could take care of them, but they also want somebody that they can take care of. Like, they don't mind taking care of anybody, but they want to be with somebody who can take care of them too. But they're currently with somebody that they don't mind taking care of, but they also want that person to take care of them in return. And when we see feminine on feminine energy, that's, it's like there's either two women that want the same thing, two men that want the same thing, or there's a man and a woman that want the same thing. They want look at it as like princess treatment, basically, is what it is. Look at it as princess treatment. This empress wants princess treatment, and so does the person that they're with. You know what I mean? So then there's that. And I kind of feel like this is why they both feel like they're not really getting what they need out of one another. I just feel like this empress wants someone that they can rely on, somebody that they can depend on, someone that they can lean on, somebody who is very capable of taking care of them, vice versa, but they're with somebody that they can't rely on, that they can't take care, they can't rely on, they can't depend on, they can't lean on, you know what I mean? They just can. That's just the reality of the situation. They both want princess treatment, you know what I mean? See, this dynamic between the two of you, it makes more logical sense because, we have a empress here, we have an emperor. You're willing, to take care of this person. This person's willing to take care of you. You're willing to do whatever for them, they're willing to do whatever for you. You're not just sitting back just waiting to just waiting for this person to just baby you and take care of you, because you could clearly take care of yourself. Vice versa, they could take care of themselves. You see what I mean? So it's like, this makes a little bit more logical sense to me, versus their relationship with this other individual that wants the same princess treatment as they do. You see what I mean? It's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. And I feel like this person has known for quite some time now that it ain't gonna work. They're with somebody who wants the same princess treatment as they essentially want, and it's just not gonna work out. It's not gonna work out. At the end of this person's tired of being with somebody that they can't rely on, that they can't depend on, that they have to constantly take care of and baby all the freaking time. It's like, and on top of that, they're doing all this for somebody who can't even take care of them, can't do anything for them. It's like, nah, they don't want to do that anymore, So then there's that. But that's what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated. And I will see you guys in your next reading.